Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and guavabande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. grenadamarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I have to say wow. It seems like if it's been a while. Doesn't it seem as if it's been a long time since we sat and chat and have great conversation? LACJ, Gordon Boney, didn't it seem as it's been quite a long time? Every time we met each other in the past 3 days, which seems like it was 3 years, we was on a drone or something. We was in a band, whining. Yeah, it does, right? Welcome to Ride Along Live for today, guys. We are in... Let me see if you guys could guess this. We are in a new season of Ride Along Live. All right? We're in a new season of Ride Along Live. And I'm so happy to be back. Seemed like it sung like if I was far away, right? I'm so happy to be back here, guys, in this chair, not flying a drone someplace around the world. Helen, you guys miss me? No, and if anybody say no, it's me and them, eh? If anybody jump up out of their skin and say no, they didn't miss me, it's me and all, yeah? Yeah. Guys, and yesterday I was very tempted to do a program, but as you guys know, we were in the celebration mode here in Grenada. SpiceMas has just recently concluded, and as we did for in the Caribbean islands, we take celebration and carnival very seriously. So this is SpiceMas' turn. And Jackie Chaitan, you didn't miss me? I look rested. So we take this thing very seriously, guys. So we just concluded SpiceMas 2022, which we was all over. Jane Oshimo, Jane. Which, guys, I had an awesome time. Petty Road Match winner. We'll take care of that. We're going to speak about that. And what I wanted to do, guys, is to kind of chat a bit and conduct a postmortem of SpiceMas 2022. There have been so many changes in this particular celebration. A few changes. And some worked, some didn't. Right? And for you that's watching, I want you guys to participate in this conversation and let us talk about what your thoughts were and still is about what worked and what didn't, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. So this is your show. Hey, Yulin, how you doing? Pick up yourself. And to join me in this conversation, um, let me see. We have two. Right. To join me in this conversation here, we have uh, Livingston Nelson. I could get him on. And of course, you are always honorary guest here, you the viewers. So we could get Livingston Nelson up. Livingston, could you hear me, sir?
Yep, Junior, are you hearing me? I hope, am I coming in loud and clear? Am I echoing?
I think
Are
you're
you hearing
sounding
me?
fine with a fan. You have a fan going?
Yes.
Right. That would solve that
Okay.
problem.
Are you hearing me?
Yes. It's much better on my end. It's much better
Okay,
on my end.
good.
All right. Well, Livingston, as I was saying earlier, we just came out of a SpiceMas 2022. What was special and significant about this particular SpiceMas is that we haven't had Carnival for 2 years prior to this one. So for a lot of people, it felt new, it felt refreshing. For a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, they were still optimistic and pessimistic. There was all of the emotions going into this festival. A lot of people still not really comfortable being around people, so they some stayed away. A lot of people say, you know what, I just want to break away. I just want to come out. I just want to do my thing. I just want to just emancipate myself from COVID. So a lot of things happen here this year. This year, so I want to have this conversation with you and our guests about some of the things that happened, what worked, and what fell flat on its face, what really didn't work. So welcome
Right.
again, Livingston. Livingston, where should we start, Livingston? Where should we begin?
Well, I think first first, I just want to say greetings to all the listeners on your program. I'm here again. I'm always feel honored when I'm invited to come on this prestigious medium
Thank
with you. So it gives me an inkling that probably you value some of the things that I'm saying. So that is really nice,
you. Mhm.
right? So I think where we can actually start is by saying, looking at Carnival. What is really what when Carnival was conceptualized or was given to the persons that were emancipated, the slaves, then way after, what was the whole idea? And Carnival was a time for persons to free up, for want of a better phrase, just free up yourself, have a ball of a time, do whatsoever you want. That is a day for you, a day without restriction.
Mhm.
Well, for very limited restriction, you're not supposed to go and kill and seriously damage people or things in a big way, but small damages here and there, was always tolerated. But it
Mhm.
was a day for you to let go and let loose. And the people that then inherited Carnival, they saw it as a time to protest, to mimic, to try to recapture the sense of identity. So I am talking about the Black population. And for them, it was a time to, mimic the colonizers, the way they dress, the things they did, etc. But it was a time also to protest and to say to them in a way that I am as human as you are, and I am going to reclaim part of my identity. I'm going to rekindle my spirit of what I remember to be my ancestral cultural norms and practices. So we see that, and there's a next segment of society that copy other things from other cultures, from other places. So maybe I am going all wrong and people may not fully understand what I mean. So let me put it into better context, in that more clarity. So
Mhm.
the jab and the sharpening were things that express us, our core values, our core identity.
Yes.
And then of course we wanted to mimic. So we mimic things like what we thought was the sailor mask, SpiceMas and cowboys and things that came around later on. And then in some part of the island, okay, the VECO was also to kind of reclaim part of our identity. But on all those that reclaim identity was also protests against the system.
Right.
And then we had other areas that we mimic, like the Apache and the Wild Indian in Grenada. So we have those aspects of carnival.
Right.
And
From a historical perspective.
yes.
So we spoke about it from a historical perspective. I want to move deep into the 2022, right?
All right.
Because we understand that the history and how deep the history was. Let's start from the music.
No, but I'm saying, I put that in perspective to say that meaning is still not lost upon us. Although what we had there is there, but the people must remember that carnival is for the people. That people must be given a chance to express their identity, and carnival and true carnival must be, in a sense, be portrayed and displayed within the identity of the people. So now we can talk about the music. It is expected that during carnival we would play and sing our own song. We would create our own music. We would create our own calypso. And if the calypso is in some part substandard, to hell was it, that is our calypso, and we must play our calypso, right? And so the expression on the street, we want to express the street. So it's street theater. So we want our creativity to be showcased on the street. We don't want the packaged music. So we don't want the DJs and them sitting here and there and disturbing when a band of jab pass or a band with Apache or some other, a steel band. The DJ should not be hindering that expression coming from the people. So you see, I put it from that historical point of view to say in 2022 or even in 2040, we would still need that. We need to be remembered. We need to be reminded that this is the reason for our carnival. And carnival must be an expression of the people, the collective people, whatsoever. And carnival cannot be something that we package. And carnival cannot be something where you compromise the will of the people and that they for selfish or for private enterprises. Carnival cannot be the time when the whole concentration or most of the concentration is how you make a profit on that event or that other event. It is much more than that. It was a time to release this stress. So I went back into the history to show you that it still has the relevance, and the relevance has not diminished. It's just though that I believe the power that they seem to want to usurp the reason and the mandate given for our carnival. And that is where the conflict now start arising. Because if you put it in that perspective, everything we do must be done in something of trying to ensure that we get the most out of it, whether to release our stress, to express our identity on the street, because it is a street theater, it's a big show. That is our time.
Yes. Yeah? So the SpiceMas organization, corporation, is the entity that governs the running of the day-to-day operation of Carnival, right? During this year, they move around things a bit. We had the Calypso, which normally, the Calypso finals, which normally was held on a Sunday, was then moved to Thursday, right? What is your view on Calypso? We go start with Calypso. What was your view on Calypso? And do you think that the strategic move from the March Gras to the I don't know what's the word for Thursday.
Jeudi Gras.
Right. But do you think that was a strategic move, and do you think that it worked?
Well, let me look at it. There must be a reason for the move. And if there is a reason for the move, are you really getting the March Gras, the Calypso, to a lesser role in Carnival? If the answer is yes, then let us move it to the Thursday. But if you move it to the Thursday, the most lucrative day in the Carnival calendar year is Sunday. Then what do you do on Sunday? Now, if you move it on a Thursday and you put some product, because Carnival is a festival, it has many parts. So if you're moving something else that is of a greater importance to Carnival on the Sunday, which, as I said, Sunday is the most lucrative day in the carnival calendar year, right? Then, okay, let us discuss that. So you move it to the Thursday, but then what do you put? What do you replace it? So then the fact that you replace it, and I would say I listened to the chairman of SpiceMas Corporation, and he stated we will move it to Kanbuli. Now, Kanbuli is a village activity. Kanbuli is not a national event. Kanbuli basically died around 30 years ago. What was Kanbuli? Kanbuli probably started, used to be in August. Kanbuli, according to Wizard, was a reenactment of resistance, where they used to burn, kin. Kanbuli basically mean burn kin. But what used to happen is that we celebrating used to say we have campfire as if we reenacting that resistance.
Right.
And then we cook food around the campfire and we dance around the campfire. And in every village we used to have this thing taking place. Later on, it moved on to the carnival calendar year, into the March Gras night. And what people used to do before Calypso became such a big thing, Kanbuli used to be like when you're preparing for your chutney, you cook your big pot of pea soup, and fellas have the camp, you're cooking. The guys preparing for the job, the last set of preparation. So everywhere there was a mass band. People would gather,
Right.
and they would have food. So within every village, almost every village, there would be some activity going on around that food, cooking, the preparation, getting your wulu, putting on your glass in case you that cowboys getting this in the vehicle, and then everybody getting themselves ready for Juve, which was
Right.
the morning. So that was Kanbuli. No, but this is not something that is practiced in Grenada.
Right.
Has been a dying art form. So you cannot replace Calypso or the March Gras with something that is not well established. So then when that was not done, then your intention become quite suspicious. And then when it became now that you have a private enterprise
Yeah.
filling in that space, then that become extremely troubling.
So
That's something that's of national importance.
right.
You give way on that most lucrative day to a private enterprise to do a private event. And that to me doesn't sound well. It doesn't fit in at all with the whole spirit of carnival.
Yes.
So to me, that was a wrong move. Then to add to add more pain to that injury, you put it on the Thursday night, and then you allow a next private promoter to have a next private event on that same night.
Let me play devil's advocate. Hold on. Let me play devil's advocate for you here and get your view on it. Now, Calypso is I mean, a lot of people love Calypso, but there are also a lot of people who not really too fond of Calypso. By having and again, devil's advocate, by having the Calypso on a Thursday and having other events on a Thursday, it gives people options to say they could go Calypso, or they could go to any other event. What's wrong with another event coming and SMC doing their part in promoting, just like how the other private promoters are promoting their own events?
Well, as I said, what is wrong with that? I believe that there is a greater need than the profit as it relates that to Calypso. And I believe that SpiceMas Corporation, the body responsible for safeguarding, preserving, promoting our culture, our heritage. And so that should be guarded. Now, I am asking the question, and there I start. Are you relegating the Calypso to a lesser importance? If
Right.
you have come to that conclusion, then okay, well, let us do that. But in the meantime, I'm asking the question, have you actually tried other ways to revive, to try to see if you could build upon the March Gras? Have we exhausted all efforts to make the March Gras more successful and better than? At one time, the March Gras was more successful, was bigger than the Soca Mona. Now, if you have exhausted everything, and then you decide, you now take a decision that let us relegate it to that thing because we believe it will die a natural death, then so be it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so the other question I want to ask, like we have cricket. In the days gone by, everywhere people used to play cricket. Cricket is dying. Are we saying that we should not, aim to do more to build upon cricket? Or if there's a major cricket match, are you going to have a next big event close by, an exporting event to compete because cricket is dying? So those kind of discussion. But even though, irrespective of the conclusion, I am saying, why couldn't we have that conversation publicly? Now, is Carnival dying? Is Calypso dying? If Calypso is dying, can we? Because right now I am on your program running up my mouth.
Right.
I am a one man. And I am almost certain that what I am saying, there must be somebody else outside it that can poke some hole or can add to what I am saying.
Right.
I am saying to you, Junior, that SpiceMas Corporation should also take that same position. You have an idea,
Right.
bring it to the public, and let us see how somebody else can add some to whatsoever plan. Because Carnival is all of us. It is not one set of people. Not because you are in SpiceMas to spearhead. But have we had that conversation as to what alternative, what can we do to make the Mardi Gras more appetizing or better?
Somebody said to me today that the idea of SpiceMas 2022 is a fantasy of one particular individual, namely the chairperson on that board. It's a fantasy that has been shared on private circles of rearranging and moving Calypso here. And he basically got an opportunity to show or bring his ideas to life.
Well,
do you think that a lot of people was involved? There were consultations, or were there any?
No, there was no consultation. That is what I'm saying. I mean, I am saying conclusively here that there was no consultation because I was not aware of it. You cannot have a private conversation on Carnival. You need to have, and let me just say, we missed the ball. We missed the ball because we had 2 years when we were in our home, in our house, Junior.
Right, planet.
The conversation, 2 years you were getting paid. And it sat down there and we didn't have that conversation about what can we do when the time come to how can we better Carnival? How can we better the product? And there are so much other aspect as it relates to the chairperson. And the chairperson has usurped the role because the chairperson has to be in the background doing policies.
Right.
Where is the CEO? The CEO has to be responsible for the everyday operation of the organization. And that is why the chairperson now is getting so much fires, because the chairperson has taken on the role as the CEO. We thought, it's just that is the imposition. We are going to be doing this, and that is what we are going to do. And as I say, just like me, while you have an idea, it's something really good for you, but no man is an island. No man has it all. We don't have it all, Junior. So if we come to that realization that there are issues, and I would like to see this thing happen, and I believe that that is the best way. We must bring it on that Thursday. Then why are you hiding? Just announce it. Just tell the world a month before, 2 months before, we are going to bring it on a Thursday. What says you? And I'm prepared to stand up and go in any forum to say that Thursday is the best day. Mind you, though, if you go back in the history, Carnival was being run by the JCs and the Lion Clubs long time before we had a kind of government body running. And at one time, way back, the Calypso finals took place on a Thursday. But if we're going back to the time, let us have a justification.
Right.
Let us have a justification for it then.
On the question of if it worked or if it failed, some would say that it failed even from the preliminary perspective. For some reason, SpiceMas Corporation was not able to entice the people, whether it's through its promotion, its ground operation, or whatever. They were not able to entice people to come out and participate, come out and patronize these events. The semifinals was weak. The finals, which, they said they moved it to Simon, which would be a bigger catchment of people in the country. That didn't work. There was more people than they had last time, but they still wasn't a massive turnout. And look at Soca Monarch. We go talk about Soca just now. But
Yeah.
in terms of if we were to say if it worked or if it failed, that fantasy didn't work out too well. Is it that SpiceMas is not properly resourced properly? They don't have enough resources, financial input, the people. What is it, or why is it
Well,
that they
oftentimes,
fail to
Junior,
fund it?
oftentimes I'm hearing money, more money, finances. But let me really tell you, it starts with the idea, it starts with a vision, it starts with passion.
Yes.
So it's not the money. No, has SpiceMas, and I believe that this year they receive more funds than ever before. And on the other hand, they did not have to pay. Example, in some of the traditional mass band, there was no competition. So where is the money for that? On the judging in some of the areas, there was no judges. So where is the money for that? So the SpiceMas had at his disposal more money this time
Yeah.
than
What they
previous years, apart from the increase,
they were given a
but
million.
there was, in my opinion, there was less paying out. So my take, you mentioned something and you had to do with the promotion. Did you really hear? You were in the media, you must hear. How much times was the events advertised? How many times you heard them pounding about, this thing is taking place and that is taking place, on a regular basis, so people are aware of what is taking place. In my opinion, some people say that on the Thursday there was more persons. The Grenville area is a big catchment area. I met around 4 persons in Paradise, not Simone. You said Simone, in Paradise, Progress Park. That from the Southeast area they came because it was closer. So I am saying that there are more persons, there are bigger catchment area for Calypso in the St. Andrew area.
Right.
But then you had two variables. The first variable is that you change it from the day, all right? The day, what was the other two variable? And you change the location. So
Right.
I think changing the day, keeping the Sunday and changing the location, it was a good thing to then say, okay, well, what was really taking place and how that work against the Calypso finals in St. George's. So,
Yeah.
but you change two variables. So which what actually work or does not work, what make it successful or fail, it's hard to say because you change two variables at the same time, two major variables.
Right. Let me say before we go forward, guys, we're talking about, this is a postmortem on SpiceMas 2022, right? And a lot of you that's watching, some of you guys participated, you were on the road, you saw what happened, you attend or didn't attend the events, and you would have your perspective why you did and why you didn't. Some of you stayed home and watch it on lives. Whatever you did, we want to get your input on it, right? And not just myself and Livingston Nelson chatting here. We want to hear your views on it. So call in the number that you're calling on the screen, 718-701-5720. We're talking about SpiceMas. We're talking about Grenada Carnival. And of course, it involves everybody. We all are stakeholders because win, lose, or draw, we all benefit or not benefit from more people coming into the country and the success or the failure of SpiceMas. So I'm sure that people, the powers that be, are watching. Probably have government official watching. The people at SpiceMas probably watching, and they probably could utilize some of your advice and ideas. So Livingston Nelson he's a historian on this, and he's a person with probably one of the best perspective that we could get to bring it forward. So we want your input on it, 718-701-5720. You can call in at any time. So Livingston, to summarize as it relates to Calypso, epic failure, or none. Let me not put words in your mouth. How would you conceptualize it? What would you say about the event? Just in summary.
The Calypso,
The movement of, yeah.
I have been one that attend almost every semifinals and finals in Calypso. This year, the level of Calypso was at an all-time high, I mean, really, really good calypsos. I actually did a post. I was really disappointed with at least two of the persons that was left out. But be that as it may, I guess that is a discussion that would always take place. Some people would always be disappointed, like I am, about a favorite artist of theirs. But so I'm saying that to say, because of the quality of the calypsos, a lot of the calypso lovers felt good about this year calypso, right? Um, did it fail as compared to other years? I'm not so sure if I want to say it actually failed. But I know people was disgruntled about the way it seemed like the whole calypso fraternity was catapulted. So that is what I would say. Failure or success, I don't know if it's successful, if it was successful, if you really failed, but people felt that the whole movement was catapulted. And people felt really angry about that. But the true calypso lovers went. Most of them went. Some stayed away because it was very, very, you know, they cite as a boycott. You know, but that is my take on it. But I believe that there is a need for some serious discussion on the way forward. And I don't know, it seemed like so many things in Grenada lately became secrets. I mean, a lot of public, I mean, we ain't going, a lot of public institutions are supposed to be serving the public, serving the people publicly. The activities are so private. You just cannot know. I mean, as I said, the 2 years, we lost 2 years. And I mean, I know we still on Calypso. I don't know if we go into the other aspect of mass. So let me just jump here. Example, in 2020 and 2021, when the jab, I mean, rain as it used to be, I thought that was such an ideal, even if you didn't like the fact that the jab protested against the mandate, etc. I thought it was such an ideal opportunity for you to look to see the cleanliness, the fun of the jab, and to ensure that you create a space, not just for jab, no, but for the traditional mass to play undisturbed by the DJs. Right. And you did nothing. You had 2 years of, I mean, a real, you talk about a clinical trial, my brother.
Yeah.
Clinical trial, where the drums and the posy and the shell and everything else came out from the creativity of the people. And you didn't take a page from that.
Right.
To say that is how the traditional mass, we want to go back to that. And persons that played in the 2 years tell that's the best job they played, because when they were on the street, there was no DJ to disturb them.
Right.
And again, just one thing, because I don't know if we come back to that part. I mean, if one of the biggest impediment, apart from, I mean, SpiceMas flipping the coin in the wrong way, the biggest impediment to our carnival didn't develop is the DJs on the street that is so disrespectful.
Right. Yeah, we go get into that. That was a major objection. I've seen that on social media today. Objection on the DJs, the music that was played on. Doc Coco Bob said, I think that all private shows should take place in July. Allow carnival activities to take place comfortably. I have my perspective on this.
I think we could work together.
I think when people travel from abroad and come into Grenada for carnival, you don't want to limit the activities of people. You want to give, the whole idea is that everyone wouldn't like carnival. It's not carnival. Everyone would like calypso. Everyone may not like soca. There are some people who don't even go to Soca Monarch. I've never been to Soca Monarch, right? People might prefer a boat ride. So the events, having different events is good, because more people just have different things to do. So I don't think that you should block off only for SpiceMas event. I believe, however, Spice, just as how the private promoters are working hard and investing time, money, energy to really promote the event, to get people to come out to the event, SpiceMas cannot just sit comfortable and expect by default they'll have people showing up. I think they have to put out the same energy. You can't get comfortable. And if the CEO or the chairman feel like, okay, well, they don't have to work as hard as a private promoter, they might be mistaken. Give people the option, but don't feel comfortable that because it's SpiceMas Corporation, people would automatically attend the event. Work hard too, because private promoter.
But also, I believe our national product should have some level of protection. And it cannot be that the private promoter can compete equally with the Spice Mass. The carnival is a festival, and
Right.
it is a series of different activities. And sometimes we have to, show, we have to take the bull by the horn, meaning that there are some days, as I said, we could work together, but there are some days a national event must take precedent. So I believe that. So that could be for next discussion, but I believe that certain times at the level of competition, you can have example Soca Monarch, let us say in the stadium, and you give somebody, I don't believe you should give a big promoter the right to have and to bring in a whole set of foreign artists on the other side of the island on the same night. I also believe that there should be some level of protection in the way you do it. That could be discussed, but let us move on.
Yeah. I mean, guys, again, we want you guys to call in and give your views on it. Your postmortem on SpiceMas, what your thoughts are, what you're thinking, what you observe, what you think could be better, right? Janice said something very importantly I just wanted to highlight, and she's saying that if they mean referring to the people that's coming in, if they come in and don't like official events, why they coming for? Right. And listen, I think people come because there are many things that they could do in Grenada for Carnival. I believe you get different people coming in for different reasons, right? I am strong on, yes, there should be official events, but I'm also strong on allowing events to happen because there are people who just for whatever reason they would come, but they may not want to go to Panorama, and you can't force people to go to Panorama, and neither do you want people to stay home on a big carnival weekend. So, okay, if they don't want to go to Panorama, what they do? They stay in the bed and sleep. So finding different things, protecting the brand, but finding different things for people to go to, different events happening would, of course, drive more traffic in terms of flight and people coming for different reasons into the carnival. But I get the idea of protecting the brand and having the official event.
Yeah.
In the same breath, I'm saying SpiceMas cannot be comfortable. They can't sit comfortable and feel that they don't have to do the work because private promoters have to do the work. Private promoters have to do the work, have to go out on radio stations, have to post up flyers, have to work hard, have to pay money to media platforms like us and other people. And up to now, I mean, I ain't saying, I don't know if other media platforms was engaged, but I was engaged by private promoters to run ads. I wasn't engaged not one time to run any ad for any event for SpiceMas. Not once. So it's comfortable. And I'm not saying that they have to advertise with me. I don't know how many other platforms were engaged to run their ads. You see. So it can be a level of comfort. Let's move on anyway. All right, guys, you could come back and we could talk about it in full details. If you want, you could call in. Let's move on. Let's look at Soca Monarch. The music first and foremost. People was very, very on edge after the preliminaries, after they heard the songs that went into the preliminaries. Your take on the songs that entered into the preliminary rounds?
To me, the songs that came out in Soca Monarch song like Snow Cone in the Sun, that they didn't have a long life. There were a few that stood out. And again, I also must confess that some of them, after a while, they kind of grew. They grow on you. As you hear them repeatedly, you realize that some of them actually have some good, good vibes about them. But I think that this year, the Soca Men, the music fell short as compared to the standard they had before. So it fell short. And a lot of persons were very disappointed with the quality of the songs that came out from the preliminary and the semifinals. Very, very disappointed with the quality. So, but again, Junior, I'm not too hard on that because I also believe that at some year you would have better songs than other years.
Right.
This year is just a low year, a low
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Here's what I get. Right. I think that um from the preliminary, there is just everybody coming out and singing. I mean, everybody who feel they could sing, who think they could sing, they sing in the shower, they song good, they go
Yeah,
in a studio and they say, yeah, but your song good, the music don't mix, you don't master, you don't nothing
yeah,
at all. That's like everybody.
right.
But time you start going into the the semifinals, you start seeing more of okay,
Some
songs good,
growth. Yeah,
songs a little better, and vibes, everything is singing good. By the time you get to the finals, I think that there were and there still is much better songs in the in the finals of the groovy. There are so many songs in the groovy which I could see going crossing over international.
right,
Like have this young man, this young guy, what's his name? Mr. Waki. Mr. Waki have a song that I seen that mashing up New York. I seen that mashing up Miami. I seen that even going into Trinidad.
right.
And even the young man that won, what's his name? Crave.
Crave. Yeah,
The groovy songs are good,
yeah,
real
yeah.
good songs.
Real good groovy.
It,
Yeah,
it started off. It started off with everybody, everything that you could think about. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry who feel like they could jump in a studio, and it kind of came down to something that okay, song possible, songs workable, right? So that's my take on it, and we will see that. I mean, years pass. We've seen people. Is that nothing new? I don't think it's anything new. The groovy, the preliminary has always been everything and just nothing. I mean, a lot of things are just all over the place. But I think at the end of the day, groovy outshine soca this year. My take. I think groovy, the groovy artists.
sounded really good, but I also believe that the groovy, in terms of the catchment, the number of them that sounded well, I think they gave the judges a hard time in trying to select because they had some good groovy songs. So I must admit that they had some really good groovy songs.
Yeah.
Somebody made the observation that Calypso, I think the election in a sense created a lot of materials for the Calypsonians and
Yes.
so the calypsos were really good. Some of the guys that's supposed to be the real soca artists, some of them actually was electioneering. So I don't know if they get caught up in the whole process and they didn't find the time to really write songs and or even if they were not involved, but just the mood of the election kind of catch them upside down, half-sided. So but I am not too perturbed that I'm not perturbed by that because I believe, I mean, Grenada and Grenadian artists, we have been producing some excellent songs over the years, and I believe that this trend is not, there is no real deep, but that would continue. And so we really, it would continue. So I'm not hard on them. They just this year. As you
Yeah.
said, you had some really really good groovy. There were a few soca songs that really good, but I also found that a good number of them was not making the sense that we expected them to make that this year.
Right. Again, guys, we're having this conversation, and we want to engage you. Of course, we want to engage you on this. But Nivea said something there. I didn't mean to jump on it so quickly, but I think we should touch on it. One of the big things, one of the big talk that came out after the SpiceMas was that people hearing too much of Trini songs, Vinci songs, and they're not hearing enough of our local tracks. So Ashida is saying we can't have our cake and eat it too. We want our music to go international, but we don't want songs from other countries to play in Spice Mass. It's tough, boy. I didn't mean to go into it so soon, but I think we need to touch on it because that was one of the trending topics on social media today. Everybody's saying, "But why they play so much Trini song?" They say Trini. They say Black Swing Road Match. All kind of thing. You know, people are upset. You know, so and it does have some truth to it because when you go to, you would like for Grenada music to play in Trinidad. You would like for Grenada music to play in St. Vincent. So what if they drop a two tracks from St. Vincent or Trinidad?
It
All right, we're working
takes
on.
Ashida to it takes somebody like Ashida to make it really tough. Rightfully so. Ashida, one of I think coming out from there was a period at a time when our songs, Grenadian songs, was not played at all during Carnival. And I think we're
Yeah,
still in that area as we fight for a sense of, give me what is mine, that is ours. We want to hear our song. In order for us to develop, we must hear our song. So I believe that coming out of that, there was this national move, a kind of level of consciousness that
yeah,
demands that we play our music. Now, you have certain places like the Trinidad or the Miami Carnival or the Toronto, so where everybody's song get played, and that is cool. But I think what people still want in Grenada is that there is a need for us to promote a lot more of our songs because throughout the year you hardly hear of our song, and this is the one period, the one time when we say we want to play our song. I'm not so sure, Neva, that. Because there was a lot of other songs being played. For matter of fact, I heard reggae,
What,
I heard dancehall.
but what is to be what you expect when a lot of promoters hire Trinidad DJs
Oh,
to be
really?
on the. A lot of Trinidad DJs was here. In
Oh, really?
fact, I mean, listen, there are a lot, and I'll say it like this: there are a lot of Trinidad promoters that was here as well. There was a lot of Trinidad artists that was here as well, right?
Yes.
They are New York-based Trini DJs who is uh, big international DJs that was on island. We want them to take our music and go and play it in their mixtape and play it in Trinidad and play it in
Yes.
Miami and play it
Yes.
all over the place. So, although yes, we want our music to be played, but we have to be careful on how we project that. Because just like how we say, okay, we ain't playing all your music, or well, all your music have to play up. So, just so if they decide to say that, then how do our music?
Get
Well,
the
I mean,
kind of recognition.
yeah, we went to go get crossover anyway. But if the DJs and them feel like it's a Grenada only type of thing, and Grenada don't want to get involved in other country music and stuff like that, they go, okay, cool. But that all you wanted to play, that all you wanted to play, then we don't have to do the same thing on our end.
But if you look at it the other way, Junior, it is a time for us to really sell to the world our music. And one of the deficits we have here is that during the rest of the year, we really do get our music played. So I don't believe exclusively
Right.
that we should say that we don't want any other music, but there has to be a level of consciousness that promote mainly our music, because what we want Grenadians to fall in love with Grenadian music. We want the visitors to hear Grenadian music. We want the promoters from Trinidad and other places to come here and hear Grenadian music. And this is our product. This is our stage. This is the only one time we have to showcase. So I know we cannot delegate.
All right, guys, we're chatting here with Livingston Nelson. Seemed like he lost some connection there, but we're gonna get back to him. But I want to get guys to
Or put an
chime in
arc or it
on
lost
this
this.
conversation a bit. Livingston, are you back?
I'm here. Are you hearing me?
All right. Okay. Yeah, we lost you there for a quick minute, but I think you're
Are you
back
hearing
now.
me
All
now,
right.
Junior?
I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing you now. You're back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah, I am saying this is the one time and the one stage where we have our music, and at least we want to make sure that every opportunity for the foreigners, for the Grenadians, for the promoters, that they might hear a song at that corner that is really our song, that they might think it is great. So I'm not saying totally exclusively no, but I believe as much as possible we should promote our music at our carnival, because we do have that stage. We do have the wall attention at any other time when you listen to our radio stations in particular.
Right, right, right. Well, I mean, it's something that has been talked about so many times. Not enough music played. I want to go back because I didn't want to jump on the music thing yet. I wanted to leave that for last, but I want to go back. I don't want to move all over the place either, but I want to go back a bit. Um, One thing I think that could be somehow complemented to SpiceMas, and they try to at least have most of the national events start on time. They try, right?
Right.
I think that it was a deliberate attempt to try to get things start off at 8 o'clock, right? But here is a problem, and this is a problem that I have from a personal perspective. Okay, Soca Monarch started on a little bit later,
Yeah.
um, and the preliminary started a little bit later, but they try. Now, Monday Night Mass, because that was a talking point. A lot of people spoke about Monday Night Mass wasn't a Monday Night Mass. It was more Tuesday morning Mass because they didn't see the bands and them not until morning. Like some people waiting for at the carnage. But here's another change that happened that caused that problem because I was very involved. I had a band on the road. I was band number 3. The route on Monday Night Mass was longer, right? And there was more bands. So there was 9 bands this year, 9 Monday Night Mass bands. And we were pushed back, let me tell you, a much longer distance than we ever did. So you have a longer route, which will take a longer time to get to the carnage, right? And I didn't think that there was a deliberate attempt. I think everything was kind of, I don't know if it was not set up properly by the powers who need to make things move along. But I think in SpiceMas' case, a lot could have been done to ensure that the bands leave out on time. And also the route was just too damn long. I think it was too far back. And of course, they could have anticipated if it was so far back, it would take a little while to reach to the carnage. And people was complaining about that. Until 12 o'clock, they saw a band. We were there, Livingston, at our point at 7:30. So there was no reason why we could not leave out at 8 o'clock. We were ready to go. Other bands was in place and ready to go. Why didn't start at that particular time? I don't know. It has to do with the people who was called from the SpiceMas or whoever was coordinated to get things rolling at that time. But for some reason, that wasn't done adequately enough. So people was complaining about that. But though it's not a blame, it's not a fault of the bands. It's not a fault and was not a fault of the bands. Most of the bands was in position at that point in time.
But let me see. I think I was saying, and I know I set it up because I anticipated some of the discussion that we are having now would actually happen.
Yeah.
It is a street theater. There must be a start time. There must be different scenes. And the various scenes, different things happen, and there must be an end time. Now, the carnival must be produced. So before you even go to Monday Night Mass, look at Juve.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But Juve's, where were the chaperones? Where were the persons that were accompanying the marshals?
Yeah.
Who was directing the program? Now you have personally, let me just say, Junior, my name was bantered and I was guilty as charged of seriously promoting the job during the COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm publicly saying that. I've said that before.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I believe that in the morning, you the traditional mass and then you start, if you want to start an hour before, but there must be a cutoff time when the job must finish play.
Because the Juve is what you off everything.
But you can't have Juve until 3 o'clock in the evening, my brother. That doesn't make sense. You can't have Juve starting from and then 3 o'clock in the evening or 1, and then you expect the fancy band to come up. So there must be a production of carnival. There must be a start time and different scenes. And when your scene is over, you must clear the street and the next other scene must take place. So when the job finish off or the old mass, etc., finish off, they must have a time that give way. And so if you produce the mass, no way for matter of fact, I no way Monday night mass should go beyond 12, in my humble opinion.
Right, but
Because you
no,
have, you have to,
but what happened, Nelson, was that you have Juve that show off everything.
well, that is the point I'm making.
Right. So
And
that,
don't,
and then in on time, and then so the parade, the bands started late.
well, exactly. And everything goes on too late because we do not have a production of carnival. And that
Yes,
is
true.
what I'm saying. We lost 2 years. I mean, that was happening before because I made that comment on programs way before, more than 5 years now. I mean, I went to Rainbow City and 8 o'clock rain was coming, and a guy, I have my nice shot, and a guy with tar come to shelter after 8 in the night, dirty
Right.
me. So the
Uh-huh.
job, there must be a time when you have to cut off the job, as much as we are a job nation, granted. But you
Yes.
have to have some lines of demarcation, my brother. And you have to have the political will to say you're producing a street theater. So there must be some cutoff point to give way to the chutney and other things that might be coming out a little bit later,
Absolutely.
or to give
Absolutely.
way to the steel band on the street. And then you have to have a lot of respect for the people that are doing mass out of their own talent, out of their own energies, with all the package DJ set. So you must have that kind of respect for these
Right.
people.
Right. Here's another problem I have. That's my vent. I had to vent a bit.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of years ago, Nelson, we had a situation where there was a certain number of bands who promised to bring a certain section or certain costumes, and at the end of the day, the costumes never came. Or people was arguing. I remember seeing people on the street and they cussing. They never coming back to SpiceMas anymore.
Right.
They ain't saying that they ain't coming back to that
Because
band and playing.
band,
They say they ain't coming back to SpiceMas anymore because there was this gruntle because they didn't get a package, they didn't get a costume.
right.
And that was something that was raised back then. But no one listened. No one paid attention to this. So I raised this years ago that where are the judges, the pre-judges, or the people allocated to ensure to do mass camp passes, right? That would alleviate a lot of the problems. One, if you have judges go to the mass camp, the various mass camps, you observe, you ask about the concept of the band, what is your band bringing, get a little idea on the concept, on the ideas that went into your band. You could appropriately judge them on the presentation. Like, for instance, how the hell are you judging a Monday night mass band? I know this year they didn't judge, but how do you judge a Monday night mass band? Everybody have glow stick, everybody moving it from left to right, everybody is in. That's what they do. How do you judge and give somebody a score? This, that, and the other. It is mind-boggling that you could judge. Now, if you do have a series of judges that walk through the mass band, you could ask, like, come into a band house and say, okay, what is your concept? And you get points for creativity based on the presentation that you're giving, because you actually know. And that would alleviate the problem of people not promoting a certain section or promoting a certain mass and then bringing what they're supposed to bring. Because at the end of the day, it's not that band that suffer. That band may never come back to SpiceMas ever again. They just take people money and go. But the brand will forever, SpiceMas brand would forever be damaged because there are people that would be disgruntled that didn't get the package, that they didn't get the costume, and they would never come back, and they would tell all their friends in this circle, don't go back there. When you go there, people will get the package, people will get the costume. So SpiceMas is at fault. And they will continue to be at fault if they don't fix this problem. And they didn't do it this year. They didn't have no mass band pass or no judge pass to see what is happening and who is what or whatever the case is. I mean, they didn't have no judging period. But I think that has to be done. Otherwise, we'll continue to fall in the same situation and have the same problem as we did 2-3 years ago.
Well, there's a general thing that is basically, know the product, know who you are working with.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And
Yeah,
if
go
you're
ahead.
part of an organization, or you're managing an organization,
Yeah.
or you're offering some kind of stewardship, it is important that you get to know the players, the people that are involved.
Yes.
So let me just give an example. SpiceMas has this most ridiculous law they put into place that once they launch Carnival, any activity you do requiring a sound system, you have to apply to SpiceMas. It is, to me, it is so.
Listen,
I mean,
that's crazy. That
eh?
is crazy. But go ahead.
I mean,
That is,
even if you have to have a crusade, man, you have to apply to SpiceMas. If you're
yeah.
getting married, you have to apply to SpiceMas. You know, people that are playing mass carnival for over 30 years go to SpiceMas, and people at the front desk don't know who they are. They don't know that this guy is, been involved in carnival for the last 30 years. They don't know, So I am just saying, you get people to help in administration
Yeah.
of an event, and these people, they don't know who are the players, so they treat everybody like if you're just walking out on the street or you come to buy a ticket. So I am not phased. I am not disappointed. I'm not surprised with what you just mentioned,
Yeah.
meaning that
It's what are
they
we?
don't come to know. I mean,
Is like what?
There's
Is
some
like
company this year, some people that never went to a Calypso show, but they decide they want to judge, and they judge in Calypso. And
yes.
that is the kind of stupidness we have, particularly related to the culture, the level of scant courtesy we pay to persons that are actually the practitioners.
Yes.
So you don't have the respect, you don't get the respect. They don't come and ask you what you're selling, and they should be coming to work with you to see what product you're bringing, to give some advice, and to say, well, that is what you're bringing, that is what we are going to be seeing
That is
during
exactly.
that judge, your amazing colors being displayed on that night.
And the problem, what would forever exist, and I have forever tried to change the mindset of this, but nobody's listening, and I don't know if anybody would listen, but I hope that something change about this. I am very, very, and it hurt me to my core, right? Because we have really invested in changing that mindset. Monday Night Mass in particular, there have to be an upgrade in the presentation of these packages. You cannot and should not still allow bands to give packages in plastic bags and tell a store that they cannot serve groceries in plastic bags.
Yeah,
Monday Night Mass band are giving people packages in plastic bags still in 2022. And then the plastic bag, you go and you throw it, and then what happens is the same problem that you're trying to avert. So
right.
over the years, we have been trying, over the 6, 7 years we've been doing this, giving people reusable bags, drawstring bags. It's costing us more. It's costing us more.
But
But
you're
still,
making a
it's
statement,
better
of
for the
course.
environment. Let's put this thing. Let's give people drawstring bag, which they could at least say, you know what? Okay, it's nice. They're presentable. They could show it off, and still they could go back and use it over again.
Hmm.
That is not happening. That has not been happening. Secondly, SpiceMas Corporation takes so much money from these bands, and I ain't saying that it shouldn't. We should pay our dues, but what are we getting for it? What really is being done? One, we ain't getting judged. We ain't even getting. Listen, when you participate or you come anything after you spend your $3,000+ just to be a part of the Monday Night Mass bands, you don't even get a little trophy to say, "Here, thanks for participating." You don't even get a thank you. But that is bringing tons of people into the country. We ain't get, I mean, what we have to fight and kiss people ASS to get a concession letter to get our stuff from the port. We have to kiss their ass. I'm telling you, it have to be done. It's like we have to beg them. And that is a problem that continues to happen. And at the end of the day, we don't even get a thank you, much less a trophy, much less even a gratitude. So what would happen over the period of time? People get fed up. People get fed up because it makes no sense. Let's jump to the phone line. We got a call on the line. Caller, your live, where you calling us from?
Junior,
Hey.
Mr. Eli Gilbert here.
Hey, how you doing, Specky?
Greetings to Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
Good man. I'm serious about the call here. I want to call, I don't want to call. I want to call, I don't want to call. I will say one or two things there, and I know some people will take it the wrong way because I know some people don't listen and they're just ready to criticize. And we're famous for that. Grenadians trending on Facebook, just criticizing everything.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want to touch Soca Monarch. Soca Monarch, SMC. and the artist should have sit down before,
Mm-hmm.
even though you don't agree on the 100,000, but they should have sit down
Mm-hmm.
and discuss that and work out something and make Sokabona happen. Artists have powers.
Mm-hmm.
Back in my era, the rivalry was between Ajamo, Inspector, Black Wizard, Scholar from Late.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans coming to ram Queen's Park
Yes.
to see who go win.
Yes.
Trinidad and Tobago, the rivalry was between Marshall Montano and Bunji Garlin.
Mm-hmm.
St. Vincent, it was between Fireman Hooper and Skinny Fabulous. It was happening all countries.
Mm-hmm.
St. David, the whole of St. David coming to see what ways win. Whole of St. Patrick's coming to see, or the majority coming to see what win. And in and between the artists that bad go play. You understand?
Right.
That's how it go. That's how you go over the years. When certain artists not in competition, the people not interested in going.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it happen this year, so they have to fix that next year. I don't say they had the money to pay at the time, but you see Trinidad and Tobago, knowing the founder of Soca Monarch, Mr. Williams Monroe, I go always calling him, he will never allow that to happen. Carnival is a business. Soca Monarch is a business. And the artists who bringing out the people, you have to sit down and talk to them. No, Boise making noise for, Boise fighting for the 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Boise didn't have to win. Boise didn't must win the Soca Monarch and get the 100,000. I don't say in the way how they do it last minute was the right way. And I'm also standing up to my point that they need an association to fight for them things better.
Yes.
Than some artists going and some and going. I stick to that point.
Right.
But how people try to crucify Boise like it is he alone that won the money. He don't have to win. But whosoever win gets it. And I don't say SMC had it at the time. The point I'm trying to make, they could have sit down and work out something and allow Soca Monarch to be better than that. That's the worst I ever see the turnout in
it was poor. It was poor.
You understand?
Put it like that. You can't say it any better way. It was poor. Turnout was poor, weak.
Secondly, that one, I know I will get one or two criticism for, but I speak in my mind, and a man who they are wrong long enough, and a man who travel, I speak in my mind. Some Grenadians, hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
Some Grenadians, very hypocrites. If you're doing a show home, and you don't have foreign artists, you don't get in the 8,000 and 9,000 people.
Right.
The only spectacle happening without foreigners, and they have 8,000-9,000 people plus is Juve in July, because it's a young people fed and a different kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But all them other shows to get 8,000, 9,000 plus, you must have foreigners, and you have some Grenadians who say Vienna foreigners they ain't going.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you put local alone, the 8,000-9,000 don't come in out.
Mm-hmm.
And promoters will tell you that. Promoters have to send for foreigners sometimes to ram the place because they ain't coming out to see locals alone.
Mm-hmm.
So they fool you want to be hypocrite now, like they care about locals so much. Right? And I personally saying that with no apology. I, Eli Gilbert, have no problem with foreign tunes playing on the road. If you say play more local, I will agree.
Yes.
But foreign tunes are playing Trinidad right through.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't hide in to tell nobody that and don't make it look like I don't care about the local. Of course I care about the local. But how Mr. Keelan and Super P and Talpri and all that, I was in Trinidad when Talpri and they was playing and I feel good as a Grenadian whining down Frederick Street.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Foreign tune that's playing, Grenada tune that's playing, all of that in Barbados, as somebody called me, I'm singing to the story. Mm-hmm. You understand? You play every country. If you say play more local, I go understand. So don't make it look like they care about the locals so much and why foreign tune playing. Foreign tune that's well, since a little boy, when I had no kick for 86, Beckett almost win road match here with a one soca. And I tell you that with no apology, just play. And the way how the music change up now, when foreigners form to play mass here and they come and do petty and they come and they do things, the things it's spreading out. Years ago, Pretty Mass and all them things was more Barbados, Trinidad, and St. Lucia. Foreigners come in here now and play Pretty Mass and all them things, so the things changing up. And don't get me wrong, don't misunderstand me and feel I care about locals. Mm-hmm. If you say play more local tune on the road, I agree. But don't make it look like we don't want foreign music play because foreign music, the whole them others just get a little break in Trinidad. Yeah. And they playing on the radio, they playing in the carnival.
Yeah.
So let us not be hypocrite. And if they don't have foreigners on them shows and them, you don't see the 8,000-9,000 coming out. Straight up. And I'm being real with you. So I'm not here to nice up nothing. And a lot of my people hypocrite. A lot of them hypocrite. Playing like they love the local so much. And then coming out when local alone play.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Thank you, Specky, for your input. Again, guys, the phone lines open 718-701-5720. We're talking about SpiceMas, postmortem and SpiceMas. And someone said it there that they didn't know that it was so much to register for Monday Night Mass band. Yeah, for a large band, it's $3,000. And I am asking, okay, it's $3,000. We paid the $3,000. What? Yo, give somebody a little piece of, yeah, get a little piece of draw stick, man, and give it to us now.
Junior,
Draw
I
stick
wanted
on
to.
a piece of paper and give it to us for at least. And
Junior,
people, oh, 1 second, yeah, but people think that Monday Night Mass makes so much money and da 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 da. How much $100,000 that Monday Night Mass had to spend to ship down thing and everything you had to buy in sequence of 2,000 even and ship down and then you're catching your backside just to get a concession letter from SpiceMas and they want you $3,000 like what? Eh? Go ahead and Nelson.
yeah, I don't hope that Specky got us. I think one of us we were saying that there is a need for a level of collaboration between private promoters
Yes.
and SMC, and not to just totally. So, and of course, the private promoters would bring in foreign artists, which we agree because it's like our grenadiers go outside it. We expect to have one or two here. So, Specky, I don't hope you think that we are saying anything different. My point was basically, I believe that there should be more. I was responding specifically to Neva Newman. I was saying while we shouldn't exclusively, but I believe there should be more of our music because that's the time we have this stage to show off our music and to get this out. And the other point, as it relates to the idea of the $100,000, I thought it was a kind of ridiculous jump. You can't be getting 40 or 45,000 and then demand $100,000. I think that starting that negotiation as from that point of view was in bad taste. One, I think Carnival is a festival. It's a total product, and people don't come here alone for Soca Monarch. For matter of fact, every artist, be the Specky, the Scholar, the Boise, their popularity spring from the fact that they got a stage, and that stage was made by Soca Monarch generally in order to take off. And
Yes.
you don't expect to, with that one show, to fill you up. I believe it is important that that is a springboard for people to take off. Just like our Specky having his Specky Sunday, and you have Crave. And not only that, it is from that springboard that you are able to get gigs in the Trinidad or Miami or Toronto, or wherever you may get. And the people that benefit the most from that are the people that sing Soca Monarch. Now you have your band, Junior. So as I say, it's a total product. You have your band, Junior, and after you don't expect somebody from Toronto to call you and say come up and play because they saw you on Monday Night Mass and you know your band was spectacular, etc. The people that sang calypso, that sing in calypso, usually it's a one gig, a one night. Whatsoever they get, that is a done deal. And there's very little springboard. So I believe that people must recognize that is a total product. And while yes, Soca Monarch is the most lucrative event on the carnival calendar, you can't just want to rake in all the sum of money because you bringing in all that money. When you have an event, a next Calypso, a next Soca event in November, you can't, an artist ain't even getting at $10,000.
Yeah, but
so
now
I'm saying I believe people must be mindful that is a total is a total event, is a festival. And while I would say there could be more because you attract a good number of persons. When people come to Carnival, they come for a series of different things.
Yes.
It could be for the Juve, because there are more Juve, people playing more Juve than Soca Monarch. They could be for children frolic. They could be for the traditional mass. They could be the one to play Chutney. It could be for the boat ride, irrespective of. They come for that total package.
Absolutely.
And they happen to be a patron at Soca Monarch.
I have someone on the line, but I wanna after we hear that person's point of view, I want to speak on the lazy set of corporate entities that only take, but none of them don't give a damn. That they don't give nothing to the culture. I will talk about that just now. Let's take this caller on the line right now. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
Good night, Junior. Grenada. Sorry, I'm host. I just had a lot of setup, and I guess I'm not accustomed, so I'm very host.
No
But
problem.
I like to demonstrate, Junior, that Carnival is a package, and Carnival is everything. And I'm listening to in all the conversations, and I just listened to Inspector, and I had to smile because only today we were having that conversation.
Mhm.
I mean, after 2 years, a lot of people would say we have failed, and I honestly think that SpiceMas could have done a lot better this year. But we have to move forward, right?
Mhm.
I just want to zero in on Panorama because it's something that has me to the core because I'm a die-hard Panorama fan.
Right.
And I must say that I was rather disappointed in SpiceMas. Because if SpiceMas did their homework, they would know that $100 is safe for Panorama and bringing in foreign artists wouldn't cut it.
Mhm.
Because by now we should realize that to each his own, and every show that SpiceMas showcase here in Grenada has a crowd, right? For me, the biggest disappointment, of course, would have been Soca Monarch. And I honestly think that we should have put on our negotiating skills and stop being self-centered and look at the culture and see what we could have done about it, right?
Right.
If I could just jump now to Monday Night Mass, I'm always a spectator for Monday night. I love to take the photos and the videos, right? My
Yes.
family play and I encourage them. I just don't like it, right? And
Right.
when I say don't like it, I don't like the jumping and whining behind the band. And everybody, you have to respect people for who they are,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And it's the same thing you shared. I mean, we have to understand the same people playing Monday Night Mass is the same people going to the white shows. It's the
Yes.
same people at the 3 day, and most of them in the fancy mass band. So why did you have to have such a long distance for these people to jam again?
Yeah.
SpiceMas, you're failing us and failing us big time. I had to sit in a bar, right, at Tropicana and had to convince some foreigners who came in and they were like, based in our mask.
Mhm.
But I am a true Canadian. So even if I wasn't happy with SpiceMas, I wouldn't come down on my culture.
Right.
I had to say to them, regardless, we may have a little setback, but this is still the best match you could ever find in the Caribbean, and you have to come again next year.
Yes.
SpiceMas, they need to do better. And we Grenadians have to demand better
Yes.
because they need to sit down. They need to listen to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PC Martinique.
Yes.
Carnival is everything, and we cannot allow it to die in the hands of a few people, Junior. It is sad. And
Yeah.
before I leave, let me say congratulations to you and your band on Monday Night Mass.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
didn't have as much numbers of like Carrie did. I can tell you, every single patron around me said this was the best band that passed for the night.
Thank
Because
you.
you understood the assignment, right? The people you had Kila and then they with you and they understood what it is to bring out the mass and even they were able to rave us in and we waving and it was so beautiful and that is the truth. And already I passed hearing it, even if you didn't have the numbers, but the spirit of carnival, just as commentators on Saturday, was within you. And I want to congratulate you. I want to encourage you. And you too should sit and negotiate with SpiceMas. You are doing something great. So they
Yes.
should honor you. They should allow you to carry the things and not you alone. Because carnival is within so that it will be cheaper so that the patrons can participate more.
Right.
There is no need to have Panorama for $100. When you have a family of four, that's $400. You move from $45 to $100. I mean, come on. SpiceMas, you failed us.
Yes.
And you need to go back to the drawing board. They need to go back to the drawing board. And we are not going to allow our culture to go down the drain in the hands of a few. So whoever is responsible for that corporation, fix it. Fix it, fix it, fix it.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, we
you.
hope that they're listening. Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate you. Appreciate your input, guys. You could call in and voice your opinion on it. We're talking about SpiceMas. Now, first one was asking about Monday Night Mass and who won Monday Night Mass. There was no competition this year. There was absolutely no competition this year. Not for Pretty Mass, not for Monday Night Mass. It was just a parade with no competition. But I personally, my band, as I made very clear, that I'm not interested in competing in Monday Night Mass Band. In fact, if there was competition, when we get to the judging point, we would have just run past the judges because I felt, and that's personally, I don't know how the other bands felt, I felt disrespected so many times in the whole Monday Night Mass thing. I just want people to come, play, and have fun. I don't want to get judged. I'm not interested in being judged. I'll pay all my fees, but I don't want to be judged. But there was no judging this year anyway. But going forward, I'm not interested in that. So that was just some of the views of the people. So let me come back to the question that I asked initially, Nelson. Coming to Grenada for SpiceMas, the fees on the airline was so freaking high. So many, so what people was complaining about it. The price was so damn high. JetBlue, whoever coming to Grenada was a hot market. But do you see any of these big corporate entities sponsoring any event in SpiceMas? Do you see JetBlue coming in and saying they go sponsor Jab Jab Band or they go sponsor Monday Night Mass Band? You don't see it. You don't see the input. More people coming into Grenada, that mean more people using water and using all these other resources. More of these corporate people, corporate entities should step up to the plate because they are directly, indirectly, not even indirectly, directly benefiting from the product. They are directly benefiting from the product because more people coming, more people bathe, more people taking showers. Hopefully, more people bathing. So more water using, more electricity using, more people here, more boat rides going out. Best of Grenada should jump in and do more sponsorship. All these people are making so much money, but are they contributing to the product? Now, if they are, and if they do decide to at some point in time, that $100,000 that is sorted, that is asked, that is requested, which I'm not in support of it was done because you need to organize and make a presentation. If the body needs to do that, that didn't happen. But that $100,000 is in reach. That $100,000 is in reach.
Mm-hmm.
If these people step up to the plate, they need to be engaged. They need to be engaged. What are they doing? Why can't JetBlue or Caribbean Airline or all these guys who making millions of dollars? Imagine $3,000 to come to Grenada. $3,000 to come to Grenada. That is crazy. And people came in. A lot of people buy the bullet and came in.
Yeah.
Watch it. So they came. They here. So the money, they make money. Support back to culture. That's what we're saying.
Well, I don't know how much the places like the breweries and the hotels, because these places, the breweries, the hotels, the taxi owners, the places and all these people, they basically the restaurants, they get direct results from increase.
Yes.
Because of Carnival. I don't know how. I know there was a legislation one time done called the sunset legislation. I don't know how far-reaching it was. It was intended to tap into the resources of these people for that period of time. I don't know if that was done. But I agree with you, Junior, that some persons, but when you mentioned JetBlue, I don't know, that's a far-reach man because JetBlue and them is not interested in helping places like Grenada. I mean, these people and them, their intention is just to see
it's about engagement. It's about engagement, Nelson.
Yeah, but yes, but maybe we should engage them a little bit and see what can
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with engagement. But go ahead.
I just wanted to say one thing. I don't want because I know Specky is listening, and I know hopefully other artists are listening. I believe on our calendar that right now that the Soca Monarch actually has one of the strongest pool in the carnival, and should those guys and them be rewarded more? I believe yes. Should more attention be paid to how can we continue? Because I had somebody, a foreigner, sitting by me at the Soca Monarch, and the comment was basically, "Wow, this is the whole show, the presentation is totally amazing." And if from that perspective alone, if that is good, it means that this is something that can blow people's mind. I believe we need to do that. So yes, attention must be paid, but I in all clear conscience, I can see you make 100% demand in for 1 year increase. I just thought it really doesn't add up. And it's a total package that we sell in. So yes, there can be an increase, but I just thought that you cannot start with 100+% increase for that first year. That is my take on it.
Right. No, what I'm saying, as it relates to the $100,000, I believe what Specky said and what other artists said, that it has to be packaged and presented. But seeing that it doesn't have a central body that could engage SpiceMas to present the idea as to why the 100,000 should be paid. I mean, SpiceMas is not going to sit there and go to Facebook page to see who's saying or who's talking about 100,000 or whatever. I don't know if Boise or anybody made a presentation to SpiceMas, right? So and I don't believe that SpiceMas would have just paid $100,000. And what you give to second place and third place, it was too late to make that decision, I believe, right? Probably they could look at it going forward.
Yeah.
But where they could get the money is from some of these people. And that goes back to the head of the corporation and who is manning this corporation. If you have people that properly know how to put together presentation and engage, like even tourism boards in the Caribbean, look at Aruba, spends how much hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars for marketing their product. You think they wouldn't love to have a promotion like Grenada SpiceMas behind their brand? Was Aruba and other tourism boards around the Caribbean engaged? That is hundreds and thousands of dollars that goes into the coffers of SpiceMas Corporation that could then use this money to pay back. You're talking about these big airlines and all this. There are so many different things, so they have to have a plan. It's a marketing plan, It's not just a wake up and write a little thing and send it there and send a letter, one pager. You have to make a presentation, and the presentation can be made 2 days before Carnival. They have to start making the presentation. No, go into these places and sell a package to Aruba and other big tourists, Jamaica and all these people and them. Yo, they want the same market of people.
But Junior, I also, and I would say that publicly because it's something that have been in my mind. And personally, let me just say, I always have a very healthy respect for Specky, and he knows that what he has brought to the culture. I mean, what he has brought, his recognition that, even to groups like the Tivoli Drummers, totally healthy respect. But I believe that we as a people, we need to know where our capital lies, meaning our talent. And I would want to say to you that I believe, one, that we offer the best juve in the world. I believe that Grenada, we have the best soca and calypso artists at this present moment. I can be wrong, but I would go with my grave to that as of now. I fully and totally believe that this is cultural capital that we have here in Grenada. Other persons might have gold and diamond, they might have oil, without oil, but they might have those things in them. But we have that capital. What are we doing with that capital? So my conversation with persons like the Boise, the Mr. Killer, the Terra Kid, and all the other guys and them outside there, would be to see how we could, I'm using the word loosely, but in a very positive way when I say use them.
Yes.
To see how we could sell Grenada outside.
That's right.
SpiceMas must have a plan. To me, it is not about the $100,000. I really do, because that means we have one event and after that it is done. What happened? So August happened, and you get your $100,000, and that is it. I would rather you stay with your $40,000, your $45,000, or your $50,000. Personally, I am saying that publicly. But I would want to use a group of guys with some musicians to export the Grenadian culture. And those guys they must be traveling on a regular basis and then getting their bread and butter through the year, because they are using, and when I say guys, I don't mean just the 4 guys or the 5 guys, a rotation system on a continuous basis, going to the various capital where we have Grenadian nationals and using these guys and them as marketing tools, right? To
Well,
break
we
them
all
through.
are.
No, no,
Listen,
no. But I was saying as a plan,
right,
not just waiting for a promoter outside day
right,
to call them. I am saying is a deliberate effort by Grenadians, by
right,
SpiceMas Corporation, to
right.
be very much involved in that marketing
Yes,
of our artists and
yes,
sending them all to the world. So every year we would be expecting these guys are not ambassadors because they get a passport, but ambassadors because they are on a mission on a regular basis, earning the
yes,
money every year. So you don't have to be $100,000, but I would rather every month they get a 10,000 by going outside and perform in many different places, right?
right. To
And
bring
you know
that's
that is my thinking. But I also believe charity begins at home. We need to plow resources, like have summer where we have music in the park. Grenada, music in the park, music um where they have this thing after Juve in Sotters, music in Grenville, music where we have our artists learning the rope, performing here in Grenada, and then later on getting so good that we have guys trained as musicians, trained as performers, learning how to walk the stage, and then taking that art form and exporting our culture. So,
right.
5 years from now, if Grenada become too small, and we might have to change the route for Juve because
Yeah.
that is the thinking I have as it has to how we expand rather than looking at just a one-day event and see how much you could reap from it.
I don't want to make this program a beat up on Spice Mass Corporation, but I want to drive this point across. For say within the past 5 to 6 years, Spice Mass has changed CEO after CEO. The CEO that's been there, I think he's probably been the longest for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
There is no like process where after a switchover of CEO, it is just a continuation of the process. So every time we change CEO of SpiceMas, it seems like we take 2 steps backwards. And then the CEO, current CEO, and didn't learn from the mistake from the previous one, right? It don't seem like there's a good transition of information, and that is what I get. So we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. Give this one credit that's there right now. He's been there for the past couple for well, I think for 2018, 2019, or
Nah,
2018,
just before that, it could be 16 or 17. You,
16. Okay, so he been there for the longest since after Kirk Sitahal. But before Kirk Sitahal, Kirk Sitahal was there for 2 years. Before Kirk, there was somebody else, and there was no transition. There was very little transition from what I see. So we keep making the same mistake over and over.
well, it could be, sorry, it could be 2018, Junior.
Right?
I say it could be 2018.
2018. Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was 2018.
But
So
Junior, based on the point you're making there,
yeah,
based on the same point you're making there, even if you come brand new and there was no passing on the baton,
right.
so after the first carnival, what do you do? When did you ever organize a postmortem? When did you
Yes.
ever bring people together and to say, well, these are the mistakes that were made. What can we do going forward? What
Yeah.
corrective measures you took?
Haven't been done.
So even if you come brand new, you drop
Yeah.
out from space.
Yes.
If you really have this thing at heart,
Yes.
imagine, well, let me just go back to you, Junior, as an individual, and you're doing your program. I show you have taken over 20 corrective measures, how you could do, what you can do with the camera, what you can do with your technical crew, what your location, background, everything in quality of the voice. See what you can do in order to maintain or to improve on your product.
Right. Exactly.
Because you've been there for a long time, and the day you start, don't tell me that is how you are operating right now. You probably upgrade equipment whatsoever, blah blah blah. So I am saying, as the CEO, you are going to be making some mistakes. And folks, I'm not saying here that anybody going to get it right at any time, because there are almost 1,000 new things to do. But let us do a 50 or make a 50 changes or 50 improvement. At least just have marshals next year They will try to work on time the following year. Let us see if we get, some kind of, so every year you see an improvement of the product because we revisiting where we're falling short. And we are opening ourselves to criticism from John Public. Because John
Yes.
Public has the answer.
Yes.
And
And
even
you
if you
can't,
feel hurt and if they attack you, you stay there and you take it as a man. At least that one you could take as a man.
yeah. Well, a professor is saying that the current CEO is there from since 2019. All right, 2019. Okay, so and there was no carnival 2020, there was no carnival 2021, and he's there right now. Let me say this. I know we was talking for a bit, but I just want to bring on a note here that following our event, our Monday night mass, very successful Monday night mass, we want to continue the celebration. We have this boat cruise that's coming up on Saturday. They call it Cool Down Boat, right? The Cool Down vibe. So we want you guys to participate and celebrate with us. This is our trilogy Cool Down Day Cruise, and of course that goes down on Saturday. We leave in at 1. Sorry, we're leaving at 12 noon. It's a day cruise. It's an excursion, guys, not just a cruise. We are going to be taking our patrons out. We go in Molinaire. We go and do some scuba diving. We have food, and then we're going over to Granada's Beach. We're going to do some swimming over there, and it's just sightseeing. And listen, it's going to be a great experience, right? So if you're going to be on the island still, whether you are a local foreigner, you're heading back in a few days, we want you to be a part of our cool down cruise, and that goes down on Saturday. And we board in at right over by in on the Carnage, right? So more information, you could contact us, inbox us, and get your ticket. It's an excursion cruise, not a boat cruise. It's an excursion cruise. Link me up for tickets and more information. Also, before we go on with the other parts of the conversation, I want to also give you guys an update. If you're here in Grenada and you're looking for some souvenir items before you head back, we want you to pick up any one of our option of Grenada t-shirt, vests. We also have sweaters, polo shirts, and regular t-shirts as well. You could get that inbox right along. If you're here in Grenada, you could pick it up before you leave to go back, and just rep your colors wherever you go. Get it now. Items are very, very limited. So again, guys, quickly got to tell you about our promotion happening. We have our boat ride, which is a trilogy cool down day cruise on Saturday. Party, diving, sightseeing, networking. For more information, you could call 415-6174. That's 473-415-6174. Admission $100, and free food will be served on board. That free food served on board. Check it out. All right. Still engaging in the conversation, we have Mr. Livingston Nelson with us. And of course, you guys could chime in at any point in time. The number that you call on the screen, 718-701-5720. Yes, what were some of the high points, or more high points and low points of the SpiceMas? Mr. Nelson, what that you observed?
Well, I think you were on a live Juve morning. I don't know. Unfortunately, I started with the low. I thought I would have liked to see more persons playing with bands in a band, more uniformity. I
Right.
found that on the St. George's. I'm talking specifically St. George's now because I was there on the live, and people were just walking up and down loosely, and then the bands was not uniform enough. So I thought there should be more uniformity. I would have liked to see more creativity on the street because that is what Juve is all about. And I would have liked to see more variety. I saw most people, they just get part of the clothes dirty, etc. And they playing jam and they standing up, and some of them they dancing to any music, they dancing to a DJ, a standing DJ. I would like to see activities, band, people moving as a band and portraying something. And I also would like to see more variety, not just jab jab. Yes, we mainly jab jab, but I would like to see other creativity on the street. So that is for me a low. I believe we're going into that. I mentioned the destructiveness of the standing DJs that would not yield to persons that are playing, and I believe that there's a whole height of disrespect. I have seen some I've seen attempt to bring back the Apache band. I've seen the Apache band. I've seen some nice innovation with the Veco this year, the costume. I mean, I know it's a change from yesterday, but I really like that freshness in the style. And that culture is not static. Culture has to evolve, and that must take place. Um, I again, SpiceMas attempt to bring the Calypso activity in Grenville was a good one. It's just that the day I don't agree with that, but I thought it. I mean, the more thinking, more thought could have been going into it. So again, that was not a bad idea. What else? You catch me almost ambush there, Junior. So I'm thinking on my feet.
Yeah, yeah. Well. Listen. I mean, I, your observations and ideas are good observation, great ideas. And as they say, there is no monopoly on good ideas. And ideas like yours and others are essential in making the product better. So it's always good to have consultation with people. Um, talk to the people, get ideas, because I, I myself plus others, after we saw what happened in Soca Monarch, we hold we head and we say, "Whoa, that look that doesn't look good." What is the problem here? And people saying, "Well, probably a lot of people didn't come to the country." But when you look at Monday night mass bands and you look at other things that happening and real things sell out, you say, "Well, no, there's a problem there. There is some kind of problem there." Soca Monarch, you're telling me Soca Monarch attract people until you can't see the end of people. And this one, he has so much space. I took a drone and I flew up in the air and I shot down like this. And I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to put that pictures up. I'm not even going to
Fully
put that.
attended. It was
Embarrassing to tell you the
it was
truth.
fully attended, but I also
So
believe
it's
that from the
competition
word
is
go
getting
since
there
after the
because
semi-finals.
there is no monopoly on good ideas. And I think we need to hear from the people. Spice Masters still need to listen to stakeholders, which is the people of Grenada, and have consultation. And let's make this product better before we lose the product. And that's my concern. That's mainly my concern. Let's make the product better. And we all have a stake in that. And we hope that the powers that be are listening, Livingston Nelson. I hope that they are
Yes.
listening and paying attention.
Well,
Um,
I think it is important that all of us. I mean, you you're an actual player. You're not just someone that sit behind the controls or consoles and do your program. You actually organize a band, and so I think it's people like you when you speak and other practitioners. Hopefully that you will get the ears of SpiceMas. Um, so I think that is the way to go. And I find from based on other years that more people are actually speaking up. I don't know if things are so really well. Things that were really terrible. I think some things are really terrible this year. I find there was a serious reaction,
yeah,
a strong reaction to Spice Mass this year. So hopefully we hit an all-time low, and our next thing is to just move the in needle higher. So if that is a low, then I must admit that is a low, and let us see what we can do to take it at the next level. And I'm certain, Junior, that next year we could have a similar conversation and
yeah,
point out some new things that has to be done, that must be done, irrespective of who would be the CEO of SpiceMas Corporation, because there's a lot to fix, and everything cannot be fixed in 1 year. But let the next CEO should be able to say, well, last year we had that problem, we implemented this, we did that thing, to show some kind of progression. So that is
yeah.
what I hoping can happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Livingston Nelson, you're a historian. Even if you don't have that attached to your name, you're a historian. And you have some great advice, some great ideas. And I hope that people are listening to you. And because you are passionate about your culture, you love your culture, and you want to see it grow. And I really hope that they listen and take some of your advice and put it in work.
Uh-huh.
You know. Thank you again, my brother. We appreciate you. We're gonna continue this conversation again another time. Any last word before we wrap up?
Um, let me just say that there are some persons that have been playing carnival for 30, 40 years, mass band players. These people held the fort. You know, the names would not be mentioned here. A lot of us don't know the names. A few persons like the Lakeys, the Cafe Bowl, the Everest, you know, those people that play mass, some of the old Vecors, um, they've been there, the Charles that played violin, and I don't even know if he played this year. But these people names are not even mentioned, but they held the fort. They kept the things going. Some of the band leaders, Peter Bain just passed. And we have other band leaders like Lazarus Antoine, Saint Little Boy, you hear those names, and all the persons that make effort to keep our carnival. They are not heroes, but they've been there for the last 30, 40 years. And I would like to salute them because I almost certain that these people got not a penny to put in the pocket, but yet they made us happy. They pleasure our eyes and they reminded us of our true self, you know. So I would like to say hands off to all the people in the Waterloo Chutney, and all those persons that keep before the Comancheros and all those the Steel Band Association in particular that get very little attention, that you know that have children that play, and some of them that have been training children over the years, all the steel bands that keep on holding our culture. They are the real, true cultural icons in our country, because they are there and they hold the fort, and nobody remember them but even call the name. So I just want to say these are the real, true masqueraders, and you know. So hands off to you, the Jaja players, all those that make Grenada what it is. So Junior, thank you for the opportunity for having me, and you are you are in the what do you call it? You are there in the tunnel. You're there in the trenches. Sorry, doing the work because you are a mass band player, and keep that up because that is worthy of us. And for the people coming, some would see you, and some would say the eyes were pleasure looking at you. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Livingston Nelson. Good friend. Always fresh perspective from a historical perspective, I should say. Livingston Nelson, a good guy, historian on every aspect. Guys, let's take a quick break, right? And when we come back, I have to vent about one other thing. I'll be right back. You're watching Right Along Live. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and guabande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. GrenadaMarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
All right, so during the celebration, we heard of an incident that involved a young lady. Initially, it was said that she died. That picture was posted over social media, and however, the young lady did not die. The RGPF put out a press release yesterday. I can't confirm if she's still at the hospital or if she was released. And we're going to update on her condition tomorrow, right? But a lot have to be done, guys. Hold on, I see someone calling. Let me see if they're calling for the program. Caller, are you calling for the program?
And we're gonna yeah, Junior, you're off?
No, I'm still on.
Okay.
Are you calling for the program?
All right. Yeah, I wanted to just ask a question, but you probably don't have to put me live. Do you know how much it costs to put on SpiceMas Carnival?
How much it costs to put on?
Yeah. No, the reason I'm asking that, I've been involved in the business for a while, and people always like to say they make a lot of money,
right?
But they don't know what it costs, right? And there's some other things I can say to some of my brothers, because I've been involved in this business a long time.
Yes.
If you know Soca Monarch paying 60 million, why as a businessman you want to spend 50 million for presentation, and presentation might only be 20 points?
Yeah. True. You have to do the maths, you have to do the maths and see what makes sense,
Yeah, and that's what's going on with some of my brothers. I mean, again, I've been involved. I'm very low key, but some major productions, and people always says, "Oh, they make a lot of money."
Welcome to my world. People always see. People always perceive. They come and they see, well, you sell all these packages and you sell all these costumes, or you did all of this performance and whatever. You should be making a lot of money. What they don't see is when the output, the money that you spent even before you got here, the things that you put together before you even get into the studio. All of these things, people don't see that. They don't see that.
Right. And so a lot of people do things for the love, Love, right? Well, true business people, okay, put it for the love, because we've been involved in a lot of shows that we know it busts, but we never cancel it.
Yeah,
there are some business people.
Yeah,
there are some business people will cancel the show 10, 20 minutes before.
Yeah, so true, my brother, so true.
And so I know Specky and all of them, and I love Specky to death. All right. And yes. I heard him tonight. I remember a comment that he and some of them made when we brought them to a specific area, and they said, "Why you bring all these guys?" All right. So we trying to promote the Grenada culture. So we bring as much people as possible. But one of them says, you don't have to bring all these guys next time.
It's about the love, my brother. It's about the love of culture. Listen, thank you for your input. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling and being a part of our.
Anyway, we'll link up.
All right. Thank you again.
All right.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Junior. Bye-bye.
So the brother made a good point. People always see, they perceive that promoters and mass players are spending so much money, but they don't see the input, the financial input, and they see one day of celebration and they say, "Oh, that's it." But it's actually a year or so of preparation and spending and shipping and marketing. And hence the reason why I think that the body of SpiceMas Corporation, instead of trying to make life more difficult for people who are really trying to contribute to make the product better, I think SpiceMas in general sense should try to, knowing that we are, as a body, are major stakeholders in this. Because we are the ones that go out and push and promote and get people flying from Aruba, from Africa. I heard a lady came in from the mass band. She came from Africa. She followed this program from Africa. And she said she want to play in this Monday night thing that she hear that we was talking about there. She and her friend came in from Africa, right? This work is not, they was not solicited, or they didn't come here on the ad or they saw by the Grenada Board of Tourism in Africa. It was bands and people getting on social media and engaging. But instead what you see, and parts of it is doable and should happen, but I don't see how SpiceMas Corporation running ads about SpiceMas is coming on a big screen in Wall Street really getting more Grenadians to play mass. I mean, people in Grenada already know that mass is happening. They know that carnival is happening here. What about promoting carnival outside of Grenada to get people to actually come here? People that's walking up and down Wall Street already know Carnival coming. The money that it take to put the banner right next to the gas station by the roundabout after you pass by the Port Authority there. How much money it cost them to do that? Sure, it costs some money. But did it engage more Grenadians to know that mass carnival is on the 8th or the 9th? 8th and the 9th? People already know. Engage people outside, or at least the people that are outside, engage them so they could engage more people to come in. But we don't have that synergy. It's difficult to find that synergy. I think from my perspective, from where I sit, I can't speak for anybody else. I could only speak from my perspective. I could only speak from how I felt it and how I saw things was happening. A lot of times, I think that their SpiceMas Corporation this particular year somehow made it a lot more difficult make it a lot difficult for the people who could make things better, and it's not encouraging. It is not encouraging. People had to have problems to get their stuff, just a concession letter sent to finance, so finance could approve it, send it back. It was like pulling teeth. That process should not be anything. It shouldn't have. You shouldn't have political connections to get a concession letter. But still, we see it, and that's a major problem. Secondly, if the bands that's taking part, whether it's Pretty Mass or whatever, I propose this. They should consider it at least. Have some kind of judging. They do it in New York. Have a walkthrough, a day when all the judges walk through the camps of the various bands. Walk through the camps, speak to the band leaders, ask them about the idea, ask them about the concept, score them on creativity, score them on the portrayal of whatever they're portraying, understand what they are presenting. So then when you go on the road now, you could have some kind of scoring system where you actually know. So when they do something on the road, you know why they do it on the road. But instead, in Monday Night Mass, when they was judging, they judged by how many people moved their thing from left to right. One time I got a score sheet, and I don't know how they came up with this idea. I don't know what kind of numbers they have on the score sheet. I don't understand, because nobody knew what I was doing. Nobody asked me what I was planning or what was the idea behind it. I had a big, tall robot. It was futuristic, and I brought a 10-feet robot, 10-feet robot. Cost a shit of money to come here. And the portrayal was superhero. I placed last. One before the last. That wasn't the point of it. They never understood what I was doing with the robots. The whole thing is futuristic. But nobody came in and asked me what was the idea behind it. And I'm sure other people, band leaders, would like to explain the concept. You understand what I mean? So the monies that we pay in SpiceMas, or band leaders are paying SpiceMas, it's not just to take the money and say thank you, or they ain't even saying thank you. It's not just to take the money and go and do what you have to do with it. At least do some work. Do some work. I know the folks at SpiceMas is listening, but I'm serious. Do some work. That's all I'll say right now. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. Don't forget, on Saturday, next Saturday, guys, we're having a boat ride. If you're in Grenada on Saturday, around this time, I want you guys to be a part and jump on the boat. It's called Trilogy Cool Down Day Cruise. Yeah. Come and continue the celebration. This is our cool down affair on Saturday. We're leaving out at 12, promptly. 12. Want to see you guys there. Get your tickets at GoToFed. Go to GoToFed and search for the Trilogy Cool Down Day Cruise. I said day cruise, but it's really not a day cruise. It's an excursion. You guys ever went out to Marlin Air and you go diving You go diving in the by the sculptures. You guys ever been there? Let me tell you, it's amazing. So we go in there and we dive in. So if you don't know how to scuba dive, you put in, get your little glasses and thing, and you snorkel in and stuff, and you could see the sculptures. Yeah, real fun. If you haven't done that before, the opportunity to do that. So get on the boat. We have free food and real Grenadian food. We even have, listen. We have lime juice and thing. Lime juice. Real Grenadian thing. Lime juice. Ghost pot juice and all kind of thing. Real Grenadian thing we have there. And of course, we have some rum punch. And of course, all the other nice things. Nice things. Nice vibes. So guys, go to Fet right now and get your tickets. Or contact me right after the show. Or you can contact me now. It doesn't matter. Get your tickets to be aboard the Trilogy Cruise boat ride. And listen. Thank you, Ezra. We only have, let me tell you, we only have 100 tickets. I'm sorry. We only have 100 people because we go in, it's an excursion. Because we go in scuba diving, I don't want 500 people in the water. We are limiting it because of the excursion and a personalized experience. Yeah, it's a personalized experience. So we only have 100 tickets, guys. So if you want your ticket, you can't stick. You have to get it tonight. Go to Fet and buy a ticket tonight. Don't wait, don't stick. Get it tonight. If you get it tonight, you're probably going to get it tomorrow. Sweet and simple. Fast. Get a ticket tonight. Inbox me if you're interested in going, and we'll get you a ticket tomorrow. Free food. We even have Lambi waters and things inside of there. Lambi waters, man. About 100 pounds of lambi. And I like lambi waters when you could actually have the lambi. You could not only taste the lambi, not only taste the lambi inside of the water, and you could actually eat the lambi. Yeah, we have real lambi inside of there too. Real vibes, guys, on the Trilogy Cruise. Cool down cruise. Cool down excursion. Yeah. I want to see you guys there. Get your ticket tonight. Don't wait for tomorrow. I swear. Yeah. Lime juice is the best. Telling you. Yes. It's the best. It's so amazing. Inbox me for tickets, guys, tonight. Don't wait for tomorrow. Otherwise, you're going to be watching the live on Facebook and see we dive in and thing, and we go in and we looking down at Molineux and we looking down in the water and the sculpture. You're going to be watching it on Facebook. And I go purposely stream it live for all you. In the water and all. I go down in the water with the phone, because the phone is waterproof, and I'm showing all you what we're doing. And all you just go be able to just watch the thing and just say, damn, I should have get me ticket, boy. Whoa. Yeah. And also, I'm telling you guys about getting the souvenir t-shirts. The souvenir t-shirts. It's in Grenada right now, guys. It's in Grenada right now. So get your souvenir t-shirts right now before you fly out. Because when you fly out, you have to get shipping, and shipping costs as much as the cost of the shirt, especially if you're in England or Canada or anywhere far like that. The shipping cost is like the cost of the shirt, but you don't have to get shipping because you're right here. Get it before you leave, and while you do, we have a whole set of Clarkscourt rum and stuff like that. You could, don't leave without some Grenada souvenirs. Take it back to a family member, a friend. Yeah, man. Everything. Get it right there. We have t-shirt, we have vests, we have polo shirt, we have button-up shirt. We even have sweaters while supplies last. Get it tonight. Don't stick, don't wait. Inbox me if all you want. The price, all you inbox me for price and information. Right? We only have newsflash update. We only have 45, what do you say? Wow, 45? There's 100 earlier today. No, we only have 45 left, guys. I'm sorry. We only have 45 left. We only have 45 left on the island. Wow. I run down quick, boy. Anyway, get it tonight. Inbox me if you're in Grenada. Pick up tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our programming today. Thanks to Livingston Nelson. Thanks for everyone who call and share. Catch you guys again mañana. On behalf of all our production team here at Ride Along, for my senior executive producer, Lois JJ, who keep telling me my vacation is too long. I keep telling her I'm not on vacation. I'm on workation. But she want me to come back to New York. Okay, I hear you. My moderators, of course, Kibbs, how you doing? Who's currently in, well, you know where he is now. Gail and Deanne Fraser, big up yourself. Everyone. Jacoby George back in New York, taking care of production stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night, good night, good night, and good night. Also, guys, I have to tell you about this. How could I forget? I can't forget. Ariza is coming to New York. Ariza is coming to New York. They are coming. The Ariza team will be in Grenada Day on August 21st at 777 Rutland Road at the Old Boys and Girls High School field. Yeah, they'll be there. You have to be there as well. Facilitating the following: general inquiries, new membership, small deposits, new products, service sign-up, virtual tours. Man, listen, you got to be there. Membership requirement. You got to have your Grenadian or CARICOM ID, national ID or passport, one photo ID, sign up, job letter, salary slip, up to $100, proof of address, utility bill, or bank statement. Come chat with them, man. For more information, you can check out our events at arizacu.com. Ariza is coming to New York for Grenada Day. We want to see you guys there. Don't miss it, you know. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And finally, I got to thank everyone who played Monday Night Mass with us on the road for in amazing colors. It was simply amazing, guys. Thanks for supporting us. We move to New York next, where we will be on the road for Labor Day. Thanks again, guys. Catch me tomorrow. Good night.
Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and guabande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. grenadamarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.grenadamarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
Chicks Export Limited, Toronto, Canada. Shipping barrels and other cargo to Grenada in 3 weeks, including custom clearing and home delivery to anywhere in Grenada. They source, purchase, and ship new and used anything. Call or WhatsApp Eric, aka Greens, on 416-569-9755. That's 416-569-9755. Check us out on Facebook.
Well, it's on Ride Along, so it's happening here.
Came over here. What does it mean? You know, I grew up in what I guess we call a typical family.
We break all the stories, and that's just a fact. And that's why everyone has a story to tell. Ride Along Live, I mean, yeah, it's the real deal.